see that, right? The Nasdaq has sold down again, and ARRK Innovation, ARRK ETF is down by 5%. So we're going to cover quite a lot of things on this one shortly. All right. So let's just do this. Yeah, thank you, Colin. Yeah, I didn't do my screen sharing earlier. Okay. All right. So don't you all realize that this MAO by morning feel is getting better and better? I'm trying to get good pictures to put it in. Yeah, I paid money for these pictures. Okay. All right. So all the same mistakes. Well, I'm long. All the same mistakes, right? From here itself basically shows a trader who went long in the market and realized that this person has made the same mistakes, right? I think while trading, everybody, when you lose money, it's because we make mistakes. If it's ignorance, you don't know what's happening and you got hit, that one can still accept. But if you trade and you make a mistake and you do not correct it in time or flip the position, that is really detrimental to a trader. So what is happening right now? Let me explain this to you one more time in terms of what is the same mistake that we probably is actually going through right now. Let me explain this to you. Now, everybody take a look once again. This is a standard business cycle. Now, financial market is about economy. And economy is usually 6 months to 9 months ahead. Is behind the stock market. So stock market goes first because they buy on expectation, buy on forward earnings, forward prospects, and future. And the economics will come after that. So theoretically speaking itself, right, when the stock market has peaked, example, right, then you can see the problem surfacing in an economy about 6 months to 9 months later. So that's the reason why whenever you see a stock market peak and start to come off, right, it's because the boys already know that, hey, we know that the economy has really pushed itself to the limit. We better get out. Then what happened when the market fell all the way down? Then you will see a lot of reports coming out say, oh, the economy not doing well anymore and stuff like that. And that usually add on the sell effect. But at the lowest point where the boys say, okay, guys, we've sold enough. We must come back in, save the world, save the market. They'll come back in again at the bottom where the news is going to be most terrible. They'll absorb everything. And then they start to accumulate and slowly and steadily they'll recover the market. Now, this process is what I call a cyclical pattern, okay? A cyclical pattern of the stock market and the economy. You understand my point? All right, so if you understand my point, it's all right, please key number 1 right now. If you understand what I just said about how this whole economy and the stock market, they actually work together, then you key number 1. All right, because this is going to be very helpful for you guys for the next 6 months or next 9 months if, let's say, the market is actually going through this cyclical pattern. Because I don't want you to just only fixated on the sell or the buy. You have to be able to balance both sides. It means that you must be able to balance the buy and the sell at the same time. So today, this is about this, okay? All right, thank you guys for your write-up, your writing to meet your answer. Now, let me explain this to you easily. Now, you can see that, right? Okay, we have saw in 2020 where the pandemic hit us, all right? So the economy was frail, okay? It was frail and stuff. But the economy that went up first, remember, in 2020, Nasdaq went up on its own. Now, there was actually saying about this thing about Zoom, about these cloud computing companies, they are doing well because everybody's at home now. Okay, that one I can understand. But we talk about Apple, we talk about Amazon, all these things. Amazon maybe you can understand because it is like, able to deliver parcel to people. That was also important. But of course, back then the pandemic itself, right, a lot of people were caught by the virus. So the question is this, but they still buy up. So technology went up first. Then after that, we see services, right? Where restaurants have to open up. Then we see capital goods also coming in. All right, this is where you can see that more people have to come back to the market, and then that is where the economy is going up by recovery. Then, of course, we start to see inflation coming in a little bit here and there because basic materials and energy prices goes up. And that is whereby we saw the bond prices coming down, right? Remember, the yields goes up, the yields went up, the bond price came down, okay? And then what happened? Now we are at this stage whereby commodity prices going up, okay? what happened is now the biggest talk in the market is inflation, which actually is happening. But apparently itself, right, okay, with the Federal Reserve basically, right, trying to control the yield curve, all right, control the yield curve. So that's why you don't really see it actually so clear. And interestingly now, we are seeing the defensive stocks. Defensive stocks are coming into the picture, all right, guys. So that is my point in terms of this cycle. So it's really following exactly at what we are seeing right now. So if you look at this particular cycle, all right, in this particular cycle, if let's say we're talking about this is like a 4-year cycle, so at the mid-draft here is where we are. So if you look at it itself, right, we're talking about, that means if let's say 2020 is where we actually, you know, have this pandemic issue, right? So by theory, 2022 is where we will see the meat of it, correct? Not 2 years, example. So, and I told you guys that if that is the case itself, right, let's just put on this as a point, all right? If this is going to be like, say, January, okay, because the pandemic also happened back in January, all right, then this is what we are seeing right now in the standard business cycle. But if we move forward, move backwards, sorry, in a way, okay, right, if the stock market move earlier by 6 months to 9 months earlier, all right, then what does it mean? That means that, right, by theory, by this June or March, by March to June period, we should see the market peaking. We should see the market peaking. So I repeat myself, all right? If we're talking about standard business cycle where everything seems to have hit, then by logic itself, right, we should see the market peaking in either March or June. So you heard my point? Yeah. So of course, at the moment now, with Federal Reserve not looking to increase interest rate, I don't think we will come to this point yet. I don't think we'll come to this point yet. I don't think so, all right? So there's a lot of room to go. So there's still potential upside to go, all right? Potential. But just remember, okay, everything goes in cycle. So if the Nasdaq is the first to fall, so by right, later on itself, right, later on, okay, the subsequent market that went up will also take their turn to come off. But at the same time, when that happened, all right, the market will shift again, rotate the money back to the Nasdaq counters again. So I'm not saying that the Nasdaq is time to dump and big selling, but it's more like a warning to you guys that, you know, now is not really the best time to go to Nasdaq. Wait for a while. When the market, you know, simmer down or hit a very good, attractive price, then you go in to buy into the market. And that is what I'm explaining to you guys. Now you can, that's the reason why you see the Dow Jones is going up, but the Nasdaq is coming down. All right, hopefully this explained to you guys everything about what you need to know about the standard business cycle and also not to make the same mistake. All right, guys, if you like this, please key the word like, L-I-K-E, because you like this, okay? All right, I will not talk about the second half of here because if I say second half of here itself, right, you know, some of you may want to jump the gun in advance and then you guys trade and get hit. So we are not there yet, okay? Because the short-term interest rate factor is not in yet, there's no reason for that. All right, as long as the short-term interest rate factor is not in, the second half of the year, the second half of the cycle theoretically will not happen. But of course, if you actually understand that this first half cycle really shows what's happening right now, then theoretically speaking, the second part of the cycle will likely happen. And if you are smart enough, you will know what to do and preparation for this. Okay, if you understand this, that'll be excellent for you. All right, cool. Thank you guys for your participation. Let's continue. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, so yesterday I draw this very nice technical analysis. And I told you guys that, right, if the Nasdaq failed to cross 61.8% of the Fibonacci from the high to the low recently, then the market may come back down all the way. Now, I draw a very nice black down. I draw this to you. I show that the market will come down to this point. Then after that itself, right, the market, if it cannot hold, it will drop to the MA30. All right. And I ask you, are you concerned? And a majority of you are concerned with it, right? Remember? All right. So in case you miss it out, I'm going to have a short recording for you. Let's take a hear on this. Now, if you guys remember what I just said, please keep the word spot on for me. Thank you very much for this segment. Be very, very careful. There is a possibility that the Nasdaq may come down to the MA 200 level, and that's 12,973 level around there. So this is something that I want you to take note, okay? Just be a bit careful. So if the Nasdaq really loses when we know that the market will lose strength, well, it'll be somewhere around here, whereby if the market loses about 13,652, that's about 100 points from where we are now. If the market loses about 100 points, that means it couldn't stay above the 61.8. It may actually pull back down and go for what I'm saying, okay? So traders, you can take note of the Nasdaq, okay? Nasdaq, I have been telling you, I'm much more closer to it and been observing for quite a while. I kind of suspect that. And of course, if let's say the Nasdaq do this, then we have a problem, because that would mean that ARRK ETF should be hit. And if ARRK ETF being hit, then obviously it will cause a bit of repercussion to all the little boys, and this will actually hit the technology counters. Okay, so this is something that you must take note. All right. Again, I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, so you guys, can you hear me loud and clear? And I've been saying this. All right. If let's say the Nasdaq get hit, then the ARRK Innovation will get hit. And of course, when the ARRK Innovation get hit, and all the boys below it in her portfolio, then the market will also come off. So basically, it seemed to be really reflectively showing, all right? So guys, those who shorted Nasdaq with me, congratulations to you. Those who shorted ARRK Innovation with me, also congratulations to you. This morning was a pretty nice breakfast. So I hope that you guys really understand how to utilize the conventional chart, the TWB chart, to make money from the market, okay? Congratulations once again. Hi, morning to you, Uncle Arun. All right. Oh, sorry. This is again my bad. I didn't do the animation properly. Okay, guys. This is one of my favorite. Okay, this is Will Smith, right? This is really one of my favorite actor. All right, because I'm always very impressed when he act that show, The Legend. All right, I love that movie. Now, not because he's a zombie apocalypse. It's basically for him. The acting really, he's a very good actor, right? He was doing the Bel Air Fresh, right? I'm not that keen with him, but when only was that movies, right? I really liked him. So The Legend, right? Apparently for that movie, he purposely, enclosed himself in a home outside far away from his family for 1 month or 2 months to make himself understand how does it feel to be alone. I mean, that's really incredible. And of course, The Pursuit of Happiness, where he acted with his son, all right, that was really lovely. So Will Smith, when he gave some quotes, I do take note, all right, and I want to share this with you for today. If you're not willing to work hard, let someone else do it. I'd rather be someone who does a horrible job but give 110% than that someone does a good job and give only 60%. I think this is something that you must think about in reality terms. I think it makes some sense here. So, but of course, end of the day, it's about how hard you work in your work. And of course, more important thing is this. Haters are the people who will broadcast your failures and whisper your success. I think that this is very clear in this industry, all right? Of course, maybe today we got it right in the market. People are like, okay, fine, maybe we got lucky. But when you lose money itself, right, that is where people will amplify it. So for us traders, same thing, guys. We know that, right, it's going to be really tough when we trade in the market. When you win money, your family members will say that you're just being lucky. When you lose money itself, they really reminded you at what they said before. So we understand the pain here, and that's why we want you guys to work together as a family. All right, we stay as a family. We will support one another. We are never against people who lose money. We're never going to laugh at people who lose money. In fact, we actually support one another. I hope that this family, this TWB family power, this unity continue for a long, long while. All right, if you agree with me what I just said, can you hear the word agree? All right, with me. Thank you. All right, once again, today, disclaimer as usual, before we start this morning MAO, all right, please understand this. You have read what is said here. And once you are ready to go, the next 5 seconds, if you're staying on, that means you have accepted the above disclaimer and also have identified me. All right, so guys, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, thank you very much once again. Now, first of all, global news, all right? Malaysia declares lockdown again, all right? So it's something that, happened in onto our neighbor. They have just declared a nationwide lockdown. Now, what is the rational reason? Because it's going to be Hari Raya soon. or higher puasa, in fact. So that's why the thing is that we really want people to, they probably want to protect themselves, which is a good idea. It's just a very smart idea to do this now. But of course, it's going to give a bit of dampener for this festive season. So guys, like I say once again, if your neighbors are Muslims and they are celebrating, right, I will ask you to do one thing, right? Go down to the nearest halal, supermarket or those stores that sell halal food stuff or stuff, okay? Go and buy something for your neighbor. I think that will be the best time to cheer them up. All right, this is something very good thing to do. And last time in the Kampong time, we really do that, okay? Nowadays, we stay in the HDB flat, we hardly do this. So myself and my wife will be doing that from our neighbor also. Let's do it together, right? Let's stay close together. All right, okay? Cool, huh? Let's do it. All right, so now the thing is this, on the more to the stock market side itself, right? Cathie Wood Arkk Innovation ETF has fell to the new low for the year, nearly 35% from the recent high. All right, the recent high was about $160. And of course, main thing is this, all the short-term rallies has aggressively faded off recently because, well, you must understand my point. When Federal Reserve come in with all the money itself, right, it went to everybody, and everybody took this money and just use it to rally. But end of the day is that valuation is still valuation. If your thing is only worth $10, but you are speculating at $100, eventually itself, right, the smart money will just throw to the so-called dumb money and who buy 100. Then what happened? The 100 now will drop all the way back to the $10 mark, and then the smart money will buy back the shorts and then restart this whole cycle again. So that is a reason why now you can see everybody is panicking across the board, right? Everybody is now asking, now Arkk Innovation is up by 30%. Can we continue? Now, I want to say this up front here, my friends. At this moment now, when the stock market this particular counter is going down and the news are negative, very, very simple. You stay on the sell side. Only when the negative news are so much, but the stock doesn't go down anymore. That is the bottom, and that is where we can look for buy. Now, please understand this. I'm always a seller buyer. Whichever makes sense to me now and make money, I will tell you to do what. So I can tell you a sell signal, but I can tell you where to buy back. I can tell you it's a buy signal and when to sell. That is what we are doing right here for morning MAO, not basically bias to a particular position. So you can see now in last night, right, the Arkk Innovation was at 108, and I told you guys when the Arkk Innovation loses 111, that's a very important support level. I told you guys that is where if the market Arkk Innovation loses 111, the price 111, the market will go lower, right? I told you that. I told you the counter will go lower, and indeed it really happened. It went down to 104 and now going below 104. So those who have shorted with me in the ETFs, you can actually see that, right? You can make some money already, right? $6, not too bad for 1 day work, all right? So that's why, really, friends, you need to know what to do with the market right now, all right? So the thing is this, all right? You can see that who are inside the Arkk Innovation. We have Tesla, which is down, Teladoc, Health is down. Square, Roku is all down about 7% to 5%. That's quite a lot. Even DraftKings and Zillow also lost about 6%. So you can see it's across the board of 5% down. So on the flip side, Cal, if the market recover and Nasdaq stabilize, that means that this counter, can we buy? Yes, of course. Definitely. Yes, of course. All right. But of course, it depends on which counter rises first. So that's why I give you a clue here. All right, now the counters are all going off. That's very, very, very clear. But once the market stabilizes, right, look out for the one that recover first. The one that recover first will be the strongest among the rest, right? And that will be the counter for you to look on if you believe that the Nasdaq going to recover in the short term. Okay. So, of course, I told you guys when Cathie Wood last Friday says that she loved this setup, right? I kind of tell you guys that I don't like that feeling because Wall Street is really a very, very dark place. When you as a fund manager says this, all right, even though you have billions of dollars, right, that will give a very clear signal to the sharks in the water to go for the kill because the more you buy, the more they sell. Until to the point you can't take it anymore, right? And you have to cut loss, then that is where the shark will really harvest. Okay. So now remember this. We talked about a few hundred million left the fund this month, right? Apparently now the number have increased. Now $1.1 billion fund have left. Of course, it's still got about 78 billion, still a lot of money. But to see funds leaving right at this point now, which is only May this year. when the fund came in January, it does tell you something is not that correct. And 1.1 billion is quite a bit of money. And of course, the thing is this, right? It has lost about 2 billion in investors' money already. So think about this, 80 billion investment, 2 billion loss in just 2-3 months. Of course, this will spook a lot of people. That is my point, okay? That is my point here. So now you can see in the ARRK Innovation, the chart, all right? You can see it broke below the moving average. This is the moving average 200. Now, 200 moving average is a very powerful MA, right? I told you guys, we're also using it in a way. So this was where it basically hit the MA 200 and then it rebounded. So that was still okay. But you realize that this is a consolidation for quite a while already, right? So by theory itself, right, you look at it, right, that means that there is a certain chance to see ARRK Innovation coming down to the 90 series. So I kind of suspect that, right, ARRK Innovation will break below 100 and go to 90 to 95 before they get its so-called base support. And I think that that will be a base support for the counter for now, all right? Between 90 to 95, okay? I already given you my feel, so up to you to decide whether you think I'm right or wrong. But you can see over here right now, okay, you can see that from this, they are saying that, right, for this ARRK Innovation, we are looking at, it went below the 200 MA, and that is because people are getting a bit worried. And it will not be easy, according to some people, right? It's going to be one of the biggest concerns. So when can ARRK Innovation cross back 200 MA? I don't know. Let's leave it there and see. We let the market decide, okay? But at least the market is watching this very, very closely. Not only me, but many people, all right? So that is ARRK Innovation. And of course, I told you guys, the cloud stocks are the one that are getting hit. All right, you can see that the cloud stocks are all being hit the last 6 months. Who are the counters? In case I take a look right now, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Index versus the Nasdaq Composite Index versus the Cloud Computing Index. Now you can see very clearly the Cloud Computing Index is down quite a fair bit, all right? Who are the counters? All right, so you can see that it is Twilio. All right, we have that. We also have Snowflake. We have this Copa. We also have Zoom and stuff. Now, the thing is this, Snowflake is one of the bigger investment by Wilshire, right? So, of course, they also will be watched by the market. And, of course, the other way is the Zoom. Now, Zoom is going to be giving its report in beginning of June. Now, I kind of suspect that Zoom result won't be good for now because more people are going back to work back then. Okay, so that means there's some lowering number. But of course, on the flip side, if the pandemic again revisit us, then Zoom price again will go up. So let's watch out for Zoom, all right, at the in the later stage. Okay, so this is what is happening right now in the market, and that's the reason why we need to be very, very careful, at least for now. Okay. So in terms of earnings, we're going to have for today is Pfizer. It's going to be having earnings, as I mentioned to you. But tomorrow will be the bigger one. We have Microsoft, PayPal, GM, Tesla, Twilio, and Square, okay? So tomorrow will be the bigger day, bigger stocks. Again, these counters will be there. So I kind of suspect that, right? Because even like Amazon, people like Facebook, their earnings was okay, but the stock came hammered down. So if any time these few counters, if their earnings are not fantastic, this is going to be very detrimental to the entire Nasdaq. So that's why I did say yesterday, right, that I suspect that there might be a bit of correction either from Monday to Wednesday this week. All right, I already said that, and I hope you remember that. And if I'm right, then traders, you just be careful. For people who want to long in the market, you can wait for a lower price to buy. For those who are short in the market, you can now start to look at levels to look for harvesting as the price goes down. All right, so that is what I need to share this all with you right now. Okay, so that is the earnings numbers. So in terms of the data, today we will have the JOLTS, jobs opening. All right, we're looking at about 7.5 million. So the numbers, let's say, you must understand this. There's ongoing rumors in this, okay? That last Friday, the non-farm payroll, right, the number was bad. But the thing is that gave the reason for this Federal Reserve to buy into it. Okay, that one I can buy into that point. But the question is this, okay? If the numbers continue to go down or lower than expectation, right? Do you think that it's really feasible that, you know, the money that the Federal Reserve pump, will it be able to really pull up the market? So that is where the market may take another twist, is that, right, after a while later, they realize that, hey, come on, the money doesn't really help. And that's where the concern comes in and the ripple will start to flow. So again, I want you guys to watch out today's at this 10 p.m. and see what the number says and see how the market reacts. Okay, but more important is tomorrow. That is the core CPI numbers. That will be quite interesting to watch. All right, clear. Okay, so for the Dow Jones last night, you can see the Dow had hit a new all-time high. The new all-time high, 35,092 for us, for the AIMS account. All right, it went to all-time high, and then at that moment, I was thinking, okay, fine, the market crossed 35,000 is good. Even though I was looking at 34,845, but I just say that never mind, I can be wrong by a few hundred points. But truth be told, it's all right. In the second half of the night, we saw the selling came in. Now, do note, the selling came on its own. There was no reason given. Let me show you why. So you can see on CNBC, stocks fall to start the week as tech drags the market. Now, technology counter were already down at the very beginning. So apparently it's all right. They're saying that they dumped the high-flying tech stocks that causes the S&P and Dow to fall. But you must understand, Microsoft and Apple were already down by 2%. You see, the Dow cuts gain and turned negatively rapidly in the final minutes of the session after climbing 300 points to a new record high. So what I'm trying to say is this, the selling came on its own. There was no reason given. I checked through the whole thing. There was no reason given. All right. The investors that rotated out of growth names are already on a tech share. So it was nothing to do with the tech. Nothing to do with the Dow. So you can see that they're putting you or the Facebook is down, Amazon is down, Netflix is down, everything is down, but it got nothing to do with the Dow counters. So why did the Dow suddenly U-turn after trading record high? I think traders, you know the point. So all I can say is now the market is looking at this thing called the Dow theory. The Dow theory, bullish breakout last week when the Dow Industrial Average and the Dow Jones Transportation Average reached all new highs. Now, yes, indeed, we do see the Dow Jones Average and the Dow Jones Transportation go new high. And if you remember, 2 weeks ago, I already tell you guys, when the Dow Transportation Average go high, that is where usually the technology counters will come to go down. And really, 2 weeks later, it really manifested. Remember that, my friends? If you remember, can you key the word REM? Yeah, remember, I told you guys that I said already, right? If Dow Jones Transportation Average goes up, that means that the technology counters will have to come down. If you remember, please key REM right now. All right. So because of that, it's right. Because transportation stock is widely used as a barometer for global economic activity. So it's a good thing, right? Yeah, it's a good thing. But usually this comes at the end of the cycle. So it's, as I told you before, right? It comes at the end of the cycle. So which means that once you see transportation going up itself, right, when the market is peaking or at the peak, right, that is a worry sign. All right, it's a worry sign. And with the April jobs, only 266,000 jobs, despite so much money pumping in, and all the analysts was looking at 1.2, 1.3 million, that is a dampener. So again, I hope that you don't make the same mistake. But when defensive stocks start to go into the play, right, be very, very careful, okay? That is why you need to understand how you read this. Now, some people read it the other way around. It means that this is transportation is over here. Hence, therefore, right, the next one will be technology and service, capital, basic, energy. Well, they are not wrong to do that way if the market really can find strength. But the usual when this happens is only when the market is at the lower end, not at the higher end. So now we are at the higher end, obviously, right? So unless you're telling me that Dow go to 40,000, then logically, then your argument that this is just a starting point can come true. But I'm not going to argue on this because I'm no expert here. I'm just sharing you my personal view, okay? All right, so this morning itself, you can see the news are all looking at the Dow Jones at positive, but then they're asking how come the technology counters are coming down, and that is the reason why people are looking at this. And interestingly, even commodity prices comes off yesterday. That's a very interesting sign because actually we do expect the commodity prices to go higher. So later on in MAO part 2, I'll cover about the commodities market. All right, so let's just recap what happened on the US market right now, Okay, by the way, as I'm speaking to you right now, there's already some selling in the Dow Jones. I repeat, there are already some selling in the Dow Jones. All right, so traders, I will just want to gently remind you that, because the Nasdaq is also coming down right now as I'm speaking to you, this is actually not a very good sign of the market. So traders just, make your call, trade according to plan, okay? I just hope that you guys will really benefit out of this. Okay, I'm receiving a lot of messages from a lot of friends right now asking me about what I'm seeing in the market, and I already told them my view since Sunday. All right, since Sunday, I already mentioned to quite a few people regarding about my views in the market, and I hope that they already took my views for that. All right, so let's us now look at the Dow Jones as a recap. Okay, the opening price of the Dow Jones was here yesterday. So you can see over here right now, the market went up first, which really happened. The KSI was green in color, so the Dow went up. That was kind of expected. But once it hit the high or the pivot, which I told you, 35,040. Remember yesterday I told you the Dow can hit 35,000. When I said this is how some people laugh at me because they say, Carl, contrary what you say. You say that 34,845 is the resistance. I say that is based on mathematics calculation of pattern. But based on the pivot trading, 35,040 is actually the pivot, all right? The one in mathematics is just only a sign, 1 times 1 signal. So what happened was when the market failed to stay above the pivot one, right? Though based on rule CCYR is a sell, this is a color change based on that. So what do we saw? The market really from this point go back down again to pivot 2. So you can see that the market really contained itself inside a pivot. Do you find it's incredible? All right, don't you see that, Brian? Yeah, apology to hear that. Okay, no worries, bro. I'm quite sure you guys can get to meet one another very soon, okay? Stay support. We, TWB family, will always support you. Okay, Brian, stay cool, bro. All right, so you can see that the P1 and P2, you can see that the way this TWB system, the way we construct the pivot, right, is really incredible system. Think about this. The market, we already know the numbers before the market even start trading. All right, at 6 a.m. in the morning, the numbers are all there. And the market just know how to go to both sides and come back down again. It's as if that the market knows our technique, all right? Don't you find it amazing? All right, those who think that the system, TWB system is amazing, can you key the word amazing? Only if you think that way. If you don't think so, just give it a miss. All right, so you can see right now what happened last night is really incredible. So first of all, the market stays above WOP, and that's why the market keep on surging and then move up, right? When the cash market opened, that was where it shoot up all the way to pivot 1. But you notice that there is a stack. KTR plus 2 and pivot 1 is a stack here. Now, there is no sign given. There was no sign given in the market, right? There's no BMB, nothing. It was just only a color change, CCYR. And before you know it, the markets had to go down. But what was very important was that you can see there was a cage right here. And when the market broke the cage, wow, the selling just gave no face, okay? That as if that the market knows exactly what to do. And this is whereby I really was baffled. Because you look at the low, my friends, look at the low. The low of the day is exactly our pivot point. Look at it, the way the market know our pivot. I mean, I'm quite sure none of us is trading at 5 a.m. to buy back over there. So it's just that how on earth, you see, the whole day, this is opening price, right? The market goes up, okay. Maybe you say, Kel, by luck, maybe the market go to the 35,000. It was whole world back on 35,000. Okay, fine, I will not argue. But when it come down, right, that means that the market has never seen the pivot to low price, never, right, for the whole day. Yet the market, the day low of the day is exactly 34,706, a number no less. Now, that is scary. That is really scary. And this is not the first time, not the second time, or the third time we see this. It happened so many times. So that's why, seriously, guys, you are holding one of the best trading system in the world. And all you need to do is just trust it. If you trust it enough, I'm sure it will be able to make you much richer than today. All right. Thank you, guys, for validating it. Okay, so now we're down the Dow Jones. We're going to look at the market right now and see what's actually happening in the market. Well, not that good for the Dow Jones. I'm going to go back to the conventional first. Let's take a look right now. Okay, so we have the Dow Jones right now, the conventional. Now we can see that the Dow created a new all-time high at 35,092, so it's a new all-time high. But there's something I want to show you now. This is more important. Remember, I did this channel drawing, remember, some time ago. This is a channel drawing that I did for you. I basically did it to explain what could have happened back in 2020. Okay, and I told you guys that, right, there will be a point whereby the market will touch and touch and touch 3 times before we saw the market coming down, broke the MA30 and slide. Okay, so that is the TA back then in 2020. Then what I did for you is that I did the same thing. I used this high and this high to extend it. And you can see for 1, 2, all right, 3, the market hold there. But the problem is this, now you look at it now from this point, if I extend the technical analysis, right, you will notice that the market yesterday, the high touches the same place. And that is the previous band. And very incredibly, that is where the market constructed the all-time high level. Now, of course, you say, this could be just only lucky and coincidence. So, okay, I'm going to leave it there. I will not argue. So all I can tell you is, okay, so now the thing is this, we have the MLP, right? So today MLP is like this at about 34,764. And now the market have hit the MLP and pull back. Now this is kind of early now at 9:11 a.m. and we see the Dow already moving so much on the downside. So it's kind of scary at the moment. So this is whereby I'm going to give you my first warning bell. Then of course the MA30 is where I'm watching very closely. The MA30 for today is about 34,120 level. Now, the thing is this, the Dow is at 34,651 right now. So I don't think we may see such a big selling unless something really drastic happen. The question is this, if the Dow Jones do drop down to MA30, right, what should you do? Now, I'm going to give you a frank, honest opinion. Based on the last few times, whenever the market hit the MA30, it was almost clear the market will rebound. You can see that? So I cannot deny this. If the Dow Jones ever come down to the MA30, right, it will be a lovely point to buy. I repeat, you may be like, huh? You sure, Cal? Yes, I repeat myself. It could be a lovely time to buy. Okay, a lovely time to buy. So this is something that you must understand. But of course, if the market breaks below it and close below it, then the problem will come to arise, right? So the next thing will be the 95% marker, the 95% marker. Now the 95% now, because of the new all-time high, is again altered, right? Now the new 95% marker from 32,000 is shifted to 33,000 already. Because why? The Dow kept going higher, right? So this marker is very beautiful number. You know that? This is the number. Wow, lots of 3. 33338. Wow, 33338. So I suspect that there will be a support down there. Suspect the Dow support to be at, I write it down for you, to be at 33338. All right, suspect the Dow support to be at 33338. So by saying this itself, right, going to freak a lot of people out because 33338 is basically how many points? 1,300 points from where we are. So of course, you know, by saying this, I'm going to get slapped in the face. But I will still have to say this, that if the Dow do come down, break below the MA30, there is a good possibility for the Dow Jones to come down to 33,338. Okay, so if you ask me, right, I'll put some buy limit order at 34,000 plus to see the MA30, and I may buy some buy limit at 33,338. But this buy limit order can be very small just to see whether I'm right. If the market really hammer down for whatever reason, then of course I'm totally wrong. Then no choice already. Okay, so you got an idea now on the Dow Jones. All clear on this? If all clear, can you keep it clear? CLERA. Thank you very much. Okay, so now look at the Hang Seng right now. Hang Seng going to start trading soon. Now the China A50 will be in the limelight once again, and the China A50 has just gapped down. That's why the Dow sold off. Okay, the China A50 have gapped down and now it's trading lower and it just breached yesterday's low. This is really a very bad sign. I've been telling you this China A50 will most likely be coming down to this number here at 16,439. I said that and it's really happening right now, all right? So very good chance the Dow will be coming down to this point. The China A50 will be coming down to this point, and this could be a level to watch out for. For short sellers, you can consider to buy back around this area. Okay, short sellers consider to buy back around this area. All right, China, Hong Kong shares right now. Yesterday, Hong Kong price came off already. All right, you can see that the MA30, MLP is all very close by, so likely Hong Kong will be going down lower. So let's see now live. Hong Kong has just opened. Wow, Hong Kong has just down by 400 points. Look at it. It was a smackdown. Down 400 points. Wow, that is pretty bad. Okay. There is a support over here, but that is going to be not going to hold likely. The chocolate bar is around here at 27,000 level, 27,900 level, and so forth. So let's look at our market right now for Hong Kong. Right, you can see very clearly today the market is now trading below the TSCB level at 28,316, a level I mentioned. And this is a pivot too. So of course, when Hong Kong dropped so much, right, I mean, there'll be some short covering. Should be some short covering. Was those who shorted yesterday, they probably know what we're going to expect today. So I would suspect that there should be some short covering later on first. If the Hang Seng goes back above the 28,316 level, of course, the Hang Seng can, recover back some of the gap. But because the KSI is red in color, right, that means the selling will still be there. So of course, I will say this up front, if the market still cannot stay above OP, there is a chance the market may go lower. Now, the lower is kind of scary because if the market really goes down, you notice there is no support anywhere around here. Because red bar to eat red bar, right? So the next KCB level, right, for Hang Seng, all the way down is 27,588 level. The level that I told you guys, people was just laughing at me back then. I said that, okay, never mind. So this is the level now, 27,588. So where we are now is 28,235. So we're talking about 700 points from where we are today. 700 points, all right? So don't you find that really crazy on this? There is a possibility of 700 points. Now, in order for the 700 points to be fulfilled, that means the Dow Jones must drop at least 500 points. So, well, is this going to be is this delayed or is this actually a forecast? I will let you decide, okay? So for people, you can take note of that. Yes, indeed, China A50 is down because of Nasdaq, indeed, Colin. Thank you very much, all right, Colin? So Hang Seng traders, let's take note of that. This is going to be not very nice. Okay, so let's just continue. Okay, hold on a minute, just a gentle 1 minute to just reply some messages once again. Okay, thank you. All right, so that is the Hang Seng right now. Let's look at the Dow Jones once again. Okay, the Dow has recovered, as I'm saying. It hit the low of 617, rebounded almost 100 points like this so fast. Okay, so you can see that it's because the China A50 has also recovered from the low end. You see that? That is how it works, my friend. This is how the financial market works. If you don't look at it closely, it will just change almost very fast, okay? All right, so the Dow Jones now, we can see on the weekly chart is still the same. Everything looks bullish. There's some pullback, but it's not going to be a big problem unless it breaks below the MLP of this big bar. So I'm going to put the MLP right here. So unless the market bridges 34,350, then we may see some selling. At the moment now, it's still okay. Now, Nasdaq is really coming off. You can see it has lost the 95% level, the level I mentioned to you, 95%. So by losing the 95%, by theory, what will happen? It will go down to where this point is. This is the MA200, and also, okay, a level to watch. Because if this one failed, the next level is really the minus the 90% level already. Okay, so I'm going to say this up front here. I think that this will hold 12,973 today. This is just today's number. So if the Nasdaq can hold this price at 12,973, I suspect that it will hold water and then maybe it will recover a bit. But if the Nasdaq fail and goes below the MA200, now this is going to really ricochet the market a little bit. It will basically cause the market to get some warning. And of course, you could see the market going down all the way to 12,671, and that is the 90% level. But looking at the RSI right now and what I'm seeing here, I think the higher chance will be here. I suspect that the support will be coming at this point at 12,973. Yeah, I think the support will come around there. So again, my friends, this will be a good price to look for buying if you think that the market will do a temporary rebound. Right? I suspect that will happen. So guys, if the Nasdaq do hit 12,973, let's just look to buy something, okay? So I can write down for you, Nasdaq support at 12,973, okay? So I already key for you guys already. Okay, cool, huh? All right. So Nasdaq at the moment for today is between the two pivots. So KSI is red in color, so more towards sell side for today. More sell side to 13,110, that is the KCB level. Okay, all right, that's the Nasdaq. Now the S&P 500, well, you can see that the S&P 500 has now touched and toggling the MA30 today. The MA30 today is about 4172, and now the market is trying to stay afloat above it. Now, based on what we've seen the last few times, whenever the market stays above the MA30, the market always rebound. So would this be the same thing? So this is going to be a little interesting, pre-forecast. If the S&P stays above 4172, the market will rebound. That is what we are saying. But if the market loses this MA30, then there is a small possibility that the S&P may drop all the way down to 4033. Now, 4033 is the 95% level. And is it possible? Well, it's possible. If there is some selling on the Dow Jones later, right, then the market could drop all the way down to 4033 level. Okay, so that is my suspect. But again, my personal take is this: if the S&P do drop to 4033, it will be a lovely time to buy into S&P. All right, that could be a lovely time to buy into it. So traders, do watch out for all these numbers that I shared this morning. It's going to be very good for you. Okay. All right, so that will be S&P 500. Hang Seng is still the same around there. DAX, let's look at DAX today. Now, DAX yesterday came down as a Black Hawk down. Kind of surprised, honestly. Once the DAX open gap up, right? You know, I told my traders that if the market can stay above OP, fine. But if the market cannot stay above OP, right, there'll be a problem. And truth be told, instead of going above OP, it went down instead. But now it's still basically firming above the BNB RL level that we have. So let's take a look here. If it goes lower, it may go back into this BNB range. For the MA30, it's somewhere still around there, about 15,240 level. So it's still okay. So for DAX, it's still rather okay. So Uncle Arun, you're right. So watch out for DAX. Who knows, you can look to buy here at about 15,250 range. Okay, Uncle Arun, I think I saw you just now, right? Yeah, look out for this MA30 level, 15,240 range. Okay, that will be the MA30 for support for DAX. Of course, if the DAX loses that number, then there's another thing altogether already. Okay, cool. That is DAX. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ro. Okay, so I basically covered almost all the indices. All right, China A50 has rebounded. That's why Hang Seng also has rebounded. And because of Hang Seng rebounded, China A50 rather, Hang Seng rebounded. Right, basically that's what's happening right now. The market is very, very dynamic. But the Nasdaq off the lows, right, but it's still not good. This is not a good sign. All right, early morning to see such a thing is not a very good sign. Okay, so I've covered all the indices. Now let's look at the commodities, which is gold. All right, now gold yesterday went up all the way to 1845 region. Then again, because there was some selling on the Nasdaq and some selling in the Dow towards the end, the gold also come off. So I did tell you guys that gold and the equity market, right, they don't really, go against each other. In fact, they go together. So when the Nasdaq and Dow was down, all right, they were down, all right, I kind of suspect that gold will come off soon. And truth be told, gold also come off. Gold also came off yesterday, all right. So the news right now is that they say that gold is volatile because the real yield tumble, okay, all right. And now they're talking about there's some key resistance at 1850 level, 1850. And they may say that, right, there should be a technical correction. There's a pullback first before going up. So they are telling you a lot of stuff. So it's up to you as an individual how to see it. All right, so for me, I tell you my personal take on gold. To me, is that gold, you can see yesterday, the KSI was green. So by logic, when the gold goes above the pivot 2, it was a buy. That's why gold went up to 1845. But once it loses the P2, which is the 1837, gold came off a bit. But because the KSI is green in color, the downside is kind of limited, right? The downside is kind of limited. So you can see the market held on. All right, so intraday wise, let's take a look right now. Intraday, see what happened. Now intraday is a bit messy in the morning. All right, it stayed around the OP point. Then it went to pivot 2, reverse course, CCYR. Some selling came in, but not enough to make some profit. And you can see where the market was actually sideways or down. The KSI were green in color. So therefore, right, when the market found strength again, it pushes up. And this time around, with a BMB here, a BMB with a color change on the pivot 2 is always a buy signal. And if you buy here, your stop loss is here, your X theory. If you utilize the X theory, you have actually make profit nicely at this high here. Okay, so what after that, what happened? The market couldn't find strength to go above because I told you guys there's a very strong resistance, a KCB at 1842. I mentioned that if the market can stay above KCB, that's fine because the next KCB is 1860. But the market couldn't go past above it strongly. And because it loses that again, now the 1842 is still there and it acts like a resistance for gold and gold came off, okay? So that's why for KCB, right, we actually put it into a chart for you to remind you, these are the, this is the so-called, these imaginary lines that are there in the market and it's very powerful to use. This KCB is very good to use. It's good for TP. It's also good for resistance or support. Okay, so traders, you must do that. All right. Okay, so hopefully you guys have benefited of this. Okay, so let us now go into the charts and look at the market right now. Now, gold price is still firming itself at the 38.2. Last night it came down, but it wasn't enough. So as long as gold stays above 1828, I repeat, as long as gold stays above 1828, the downside could be just limited. So 1828 is actually the 38.2% of the Fibonacci. So as long as the market stays above 1828, gold should be okay. But in terms of the way it goes up, right, kind of worrying because like in PTP, we learned this thing called ROC. So the positive ROC is getting smaller, so not that comforting. And the next level that you watch out for is 1811. That is the MA200. MA200 right now. Can you see this MA200? Yeah, indeed. But because it's now the MA200 is above the MA30, right? This is a very positive picture. Very positive. So overall, it's still okay. I kind of say this upfront again. If gold can stay above the 1828 level, I still believe that gold will be able to move towards this top part of the trend line. So that is about 1858 level. So that is the few numbers I'm watching out. So I will just key right now 1858 resistance, 1828 support, and 1811 key support. For gold. Okay, I key for you guys already. So hopefully, guys, this will help you guys to see this market better. Oops, I see Hang Seng is coming off very fast again. I think the cash market is going to open soon. That's why the Hang Seng is coming off. Let's take a look right now. Okay, Hang Seng is coming off further. China A50, well, it's still staying above OP, so not too sure what Hong Kong have in mind, but this it's not very nice at the moment. Okay, that is the gold earlier. I gave you my pick already. Gold weekly chart is still very positive, so there's no real concern for now. Silver, there was a pull down yesterday. Silver came off, missed my target by just a few cents. What a waste. Okay, so we didn't take profit here. Never mind. We got some SWL traded, but then again, it's still there. Okay, so guys, if you guys really, want to know more about how we trade in the market, right? So, I mean, you missed the PTP, so you can't really go ahead. But to just show it to you, this is downtrend, and now take this away. So now we have the top resistance, we have the mid resistance, but this is very trigger, and remove this away. So ideally, this is now the next resistance and support for silver. So about $27.92 for the resistance, and support is roughly at the MLP of this guy, and that's $26.87. Okay, so that will be the take for silver. Okay, all right, last one will be crude. Crude is still hovering at the range I'm mentioning, so no much reason to do anything here. So silver, this crude oil support is still at here. That is the MA30 silver. So 63.33 is still the support for today. So no real concern for today lah. But I still suspect that crude oil may go back to 66 level. All right, I still suspect that crude oil will still later on find some strength to go back to the 66 level, 66.89 level. Okay, all right, so that will be all for the MAO part 1. So guys, if you guys want to stay on for MAO part 2, you can stay on. If you think that it's not for you, you can now leave this MAO right now. Okay, I'll come back to you guys in about 10 seconds time. Okay, right. Before we start this this second half of MAO part 2, I would like to ask you a very important question. Very important question. If you're going to give this second part MAO a rating of 5 stars, how many stars will you give? For example, 2.5 star, 3 star, 3.2 stars. Can you do it now before I continue my this afternoon this second part of MAO? All right, please do that now. There are about 74 of you. So can you tell me, like, please be honest, okay? Please be very honest, okay? Right, if this thing is lousy, just give 2 stars or give 1 star, also can. It's okay, I'm fine. I just need to do a tabulation. I want to let my wife take a look. I want to show that, see that how good your husband is. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll let my wife see. See, like, you see, husband doing the right thing. All right. Now, this alternate market views is basically very simple. It's just like when the market is very bullish, we must cool everybody down to talk about alternate market views. So when the market is down, you see me change over to talk about the bull market. So you see my point. It's very, very simple. Alternate market views means something on the opposite camp. So morning, if the market is very bullish, we on the second part, we talk something cooling to cool the market down. If the market is very bearish at the start already, right, we talk something bullish, okay? So now let me see your rating now, okay? So, wow, okay, I have... Uncle Arun, I think that you didn't pass your examination. Naughty boy. I asked for 5 stars, you give me 10 stars. So naughty, okay, that's why, you see? Now you destroyed the whole review already. All right, so thank you guys. Wow, I get about 4.5 stars out of 5 stars, or some 4 stars. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Okay, Andrew, what this 5,000 stars or 5 star? Okay, 5 million stars, all-time high. Okay, hopefully our crazy coin can keep 5 million. Okay, guys, thank you very much for this appreciation. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I think that to me, if someone offered this to me every morning, all right, I will give him a 4 to 4.5 stars. I will really give it to him. All right, because first of all these data are not easy to find in the mainstream media. And of course, you also need to find from the right source what is the better one for all of us. And explain on it is another thing altogether. Okay, right. First of all, I told you guys to avoid Fang stocks. And apparently you can see why now. Look at the Fang stocks. They are all coming off, right? Since the start of April, Fang stock hit a peak and then it be coming down. It came off almost, it's down by almost 8%, almost 8%. Yeah, because the high is 6,550, down is 6,100. So it's down by about there, 7% around there. So would it go lower? Well, to me, it's let me be very upfront here. The lower they go, the better for buy. Okay, hurt me. Lower it go, it be better for buy. All right, so let it come down to a good price, reasonable price, then look for buy. I think that will be a better idea, okay, for Fang shares. Now, what I don't like is this one. Look at it. This is the Amazon. Now, Amazon high was just 1 month ago. And look at the way Amazon come off. Wow, it's very fast and furious, right? And today, apparently, yes, broke below what conventional traders use. Conventional trader use. And that is already below the 200-day MA. So this is actually not a very good sign for Amazon, because Amazon is supposed to be the leader. And if the leader is not doing well, or can I put it this way, if the richest man on earth's counter is not doing well, I kind of ask this question, and how about the rest? How do you think about the rest? How would they be performing? So that is one thing that I am quite concerned for. But of course, because Amazon have this debt reconstructuring thingy, that's why people are selling the stock right now to buy it cheaper later. It is a possible reason, but still, nonetheless, right, if the leader is shaking a little bit, the rest will really shake more. All right. Yeah, it's now Fang, or there's a lot of counters name, but because the Tesla has lost its gleam, all right. So let me bring in Tesla right now. Okay, let me bring you Tesla right now. Wow, Hang Seng dropped below 28,000 already. Oh my God, what happened, man? Wow, Hang Seng has dropped below the 28,000. Oh, that is bad. China A50 is up. Oh shit, what's happening? China A50 is up, but the Hong Kong is down. Oh my God, this is bad, because you know why? Think about this. What if the China A50 go lower? Oh my God, that will be very, very bad. Okay, that is my point right now. Okay. Oh shit, this is not going to be good. Okay, let's just bring back into this. Okay, let me bring you Tesla. Oh no, look at it. Look at it. This is bad, right? Now, the thing is this, again, I'm not going to say too much. I already tell you what am I taking my view. Now, when you go to two different trainers and ask for the same counter, if the two trainers are bearish, so definitely, logically speaking, the view will be down. This is obvious, correct or not? But the thing is this, okay? The thing is this, if one trainer is bullish, one trainer is bearish, so obviously one of them will be right. That's my point. I mean, no need to we're going to compare, fruits. You don't take apple compare with orange and tell me that how are they the same. I mean, other than they are fruits and it's good for health, nothing else. So that's why when I call for Tesla to sell, I got a lot of feedback. A lot of people telling me that, Kel, you're wrong. Tesla will go higher and stuff like that. So I didn't argue. I just said up to you. Okay. Then after that, when Tesla hit the support here itself, I did say, right, 2 days ago, look back MAO 2 days ago, I did say that if Tesla can hold above the trend, Tesla may recover. I told you guys. But I also tell you at the same time, I don't like it because the KSI is red in color. Remember this? Right, for all the PTP students, you know already when the trend is downtrend and the intermediate trend is uptrend, meaning higher low formation, but the KSI is red, you don't hold such stocks because anytime it breaks a low of the previous day, there will be selling. For those who remember that I said about Tesla, please key the word Tesla right now because I said that. I'm very sure I said this. So if you guys cannot remember, go back to my MAO 2-3 days ago, go through the last part of it, you will hear me saying. So now the problem comes in. Tesla, where would it go? Now, the scary part is this, okay? The scary part is that, of course, this will be the level that everybody will put their stop loss level. That level is about 580 level. That will be the 585 level. That is the Tesla support level recently. But when there's blood in the water, sharks arrive, right? So if this is going to continue, right, the market will breach this 585 very easily. So I kind of suspect, right, the real number is about 560 level. So I suspect that, right, this Tesla should see some real support about 560 level. Now, if Tesla go to 560 level, right, for people who like this automobile company, you can consider. But you must understand one very important thing. The high recently was as high as 899. And of course, if the market come down all the way here as well, right, it's kind of bad, right? Think about this. So again, traders, you must understand that there's always a pro and cons in the market. So the question is this, all right, will that means that Tesla itself, right, will be a bad time to buy when it's low? But it's all, again, long-term and short-term, all right? So long-term wise, I still believe Elon Musk. Short-term wise, I still think that the counters go down. So 560 will be the level that I'm watching, although I cannot deny that most people are looking at 585 because that is the last low recently, okay? So I've given you my view, you take a look, okay? And am I short Tesla? Yes, of course, yeah. Okay, so Tesla, gone. Okay, let's go back here. Now, this is Goldman Sachs Unprofitable Tech Company Stock Index. Again, I have no time, sorry, to really dig out again for Goldman Sachs, because Goldman Sachs, they have a lot of many type of indices index in there. So I don't have time to really go there in. But one thing to note is very clear, the way a peak is somewhere very near to Tesla. Look at it. You see that? When Tesla peak was in January, February, right? Can you see that? But the main movement was about February period. If you look at this, it's somewhere around there. So if the index now is moving exactly like Tesla. So that's why I kind of suspect that Tesla should be one of them now. Jimmy? All right. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to really tabulate this for you. Now, but you can see very clearly the IPO index now is dropping off very fast. You can see that. And I tell you, this is not a very good sign. SPAC will be next, in my opinion. If Nasdaq continue to fall, if IPO index fall, that means that there will be margin calls coming in for those companies who actually listed themselves this year. So of course, when the IPO, right, and the bookmaker or the money manager cannot hold the counter, and if they're going to drop below 20% mark, right, definitely it will cause investors to get panicky, and obviously there will be more selling. So that is my point of concern that I'm not very, I'm quite worried about, because you can see the high of that thing was at 900. When the IPO at the peak, it was at this point of 900. Can you see that? This is where the peak was, everybody at 900. Now, what happened is that when it came down, everybody came down together in March. But when this thing happened, Nasdaq found strength because of all the add-on money in the market. But look at it, the SPAC and the IPO all went down. So the scary part is if the Nasdaq really come down for whatever reason, oh my God, these guys will get hit so badly that probably this will cause a panic to happen. So that is the reason why I'm saying that traders, you need to be very careful going forward this month itself. I already tell you guys already, if you heard me loud and clear, you will know what to do. Now, of course, the question is this, will this spill over to cryptocurrency? Later at 2 p.m., I'll tell you more about my personal take about this thing here, so about cryptocurrency, also at the same time, all right? So that is the Nasdaq for you. Now you can see VIX, I told you guys, VIX 17 is a good look for buy, and indeed yesterday VIX went up to 19 to almost 20. So again, those who follow my MAO yesterday, you have caught my hint. I did say that VIX will go up, and indeed VIX really happened, okay? All right, of course, we can trade VIX under AIMS, but we can trade this VIX with other market, right? Other provider. So it's something to take note of, okay? And really scary was yesterday, commodity prices come off quite a fair bit yesterday. Now, not too sure what's the reason, but the thing I can explain this to you is definitely nothing to do with yields, nothing to do with dollar, because yesterday both of them was quite muted. So the only answer is this profit taking. Now, of course, you may say, Kel, the market has been going up in parabolic form. So of course, coming down, is it normal? Yeah, it's normal. So that's why it's normal. But if let's say this normal doesn't continue and recover back, right, and continue to fall, that means that, right, basically, some people are liquidating some positions in the market, and maybe they know that there's something bigger coming on. So I'm not too sure. Let's take a look. Last but not least, you can see this is Wilshire 5,000 market cap to GDP number. Now we are 1.99. We are very, very high level. This is where it is. The last time when the Dow Jones was at this high here, all right, remember that was where it is. You can see that, you know, back in year 1999, that was where the Wilshire index was at 1.5. Sorry. The Nasdaq was going crazy and everybody's buying. That was 1.5. But to date, we are even at a crazier level of 1.99. Now, don't forget, back then itself, the Dow Jones here was only about 10,000 level, around there. Today, the Dow Jones is at 34,000. Look at it. Oh my God. We're talking about 3 times higher, and we are not at extremity. So traders, you must be very, very careful. This is not going to end well, because the last time the Nasdaq was at 6,000 point at the high, Now we are almost at 14,000. So that is why a lot of things doesn't make a lot of sense. You have to be very careful. And moving forward, right, guys, if things get too expensive, let it come down a bit first before you jump in. I think that's the most important thing as a trader. Okay. All right, guys, that will be all for today. Thank you guys so much once again. I really hope that you guys like my MAO. All right, it's kind of tiring to keep on doing this every day. I'm pushing on because of you guys. If you guys are not supporting me anymore, then maybe I must take a rest already. Okay, guys, thank you so much once again. I hope you guys like it. Have a great day. I will see you at 2 p.m.